Hello and welcome to the world of Insoles, Orange Insoles specifically. And this is our podcast, Orange Juice, a little boost for your morning. And I have with us today our producer, Mallory, is joining me. Good morning, Mallory from Chicago.
Good morning, Marsha. Happy to be back.
Awesome. Glad to have you. So today's topic is we're going to talk about European travel. And one of the key things about European travel that we're going to talk about is what you put under your feet. But prior to the European travel, or any kind of travel, we also want to walk through how to be proactive on what you should do for your body and also talk about the packing to make the trip more successful. And obviously depends on where you're traveling to. So our conversation today on what to bring, what to pack, all that good stuff could apply to something in the US or it could apply internationally. Either way. So Mallory and I are going to break it down simply because it's topic in our minds because we are taking a trip in a couple weeks to go see Mallory's old college roommate, Marley, shout out. And what does Marley do now in Prague?
Yeah, so she lives in the Czech Republic and she teaches English at a high school.
Love that. Keep it
Yeah,
simple.
I'm excited to
Good.
see her.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited to see her too. She's an awesome person, and I miss her since she's moved over there. So, also, we're also visiting a friend of ours who there is a new European football team that has started up in Prague, and he's the head football coach there. So, we're headed over that way to see Dave
But
Warner kick some ass.
we need
So,
to clarify, European football usually means soccer. By
oh, sorry.
European football, you mean European American football. They are
Yes,
playing American football in Europe now.
yes, sorry. There'll be a quarterback. The running back is actually from Detroit, so I'm excited that he's actually right from our neck of the woods. So anyway, yes, sorry, that type of football, and they're the Lions, and I know they've been winning, but I don't know their exact record. So look forward to visiting with Leanne and Dave Warner. Can't wait. So Mallory, let's start into this. I know you've done a little research on how to be proactive with your body before you go, which I didn't even think about this, quite honestly. So I will tee it up to you.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of us know like travel, although it's very fun and exciting, and we're very lucky to be able to do it, it very much disrupts your schedule. It can disrupt like a lot of just health factors, your sleep, your diet. Um, you're probably drinking more, eating things you usually don't eat. Just a lot of disruptions to your routine and your body. With that in mind, there are some things you can do to be proactive. And they may seem obvious, but we often just like overlook it. And it's things like getting enough sleep, leading up to your trip. Are we getting the 6 to 8 hours a night? Is it quality sleep? Maybe we don't have a huge party weekend right before we're traveling. Hydrating, making sure you're super hydrated, really important for the plane as well if you're taking a longer, plane trip. I also have vertigo, and I get travel vertigo so easily. And the biggest thing that contributes to it is not being hydrated. So I have to be hydrated or else I will be very sick and I don't want to have vertigo on a 8 hour plane ride. Um, Another is just like eating well, leading up again. Maybe it's fun to eat airport food, but a big greasy burger right before a long flight might not make your stomach feel the best. So just kind of being mindful of that. Um, and then also, again, this is when I think we neglect the most is being relaxed and reducing our stress as much as possible before we travel. I know traveling can be stressful. There's so many things we need to keep in mind. However, the earlier we can get our packing done, we're not checking the night before if our passport's expired. We're getting on that months in advance. We have our travel itinerary, our tickets are ready, all of that as far out as we can. So the day we're traveling, we're as relaxed as possible and we have less stress. So those are a few things I'm going to do to make sure going into the trip, my body's regulated, my nervous system's regulated, and I'm feeling ready to go.
I love it. So the other thing too in prepping is make sure you make copies of your passport because you're
Hmm.
going to want to tuck those into like hidden spots in your luggage in case something happens. And you're going to want to carry a printed copy and a digital copy with you at all times. But I will say, if you're going to Europe or anywhere, it's sometimes the cell phone service can be very spotty. So don't get yourself caught if you can't pull it up on your phone. Carry a hard copy of your passport with you too.
Yeah.
So I always, last minute, I feel like I'm in the printer making copies of the darn passport because I always forget that stuff
Yeah.
before I
I
head.
don't I don't know if you remember, but last time you and me traveled to Europe, someone in our group had their passport stolen and it was a whole like ordeal. They had to waste a few days at the embassy and like, it just wasn't a good time. So,
Yeah, it was in Paris, and we literally just put our bags inside our rooms and left. And they came back, and in their room, someone broke in, and her son's passports were gone. So they had to spend a whole day at the embassy getting their passports back. It was a little trippy, but definitely, um, luckily they had copies and IDs and travel. The other thing too is if you do travel insurance for your health, which one of the people coming with us will have travel insurance because he has a heart issue. You definitely want to keep a copy of that all times in case there is a situation that something happens and you've got that insurance with you no matter where you are on your trip. It's ready to go. So, yeah, I love all these proactive concepts for your body. And I didn't think about the sleep and the eating and just making sure your body is ready to go physically for this trip. Um, so I know for me, I had that knee surgery and I'm having complications. It's been 8 weeks now, so I'm trying to build up my walking steps. It
fair.
hurts so bad. I got to 8,000 yesterday, and I am paying the penalty today, but I
That's
just got to
a good
keep
tip.
trying to get up there. And I did stairs and sand hills, and I don't know what I was doing,
Yeah,
but
I saw someone on TikTok posted that they were doing a lot of Stairmaster because they're going somewhere in Italy that's like pure stairs. So it's like a good tip though, if you know you're going somewhere, you're walking a lot or doing a lot of stairs and you're not used to it. Some pre-training is good
I
so you're not dying.
this place I'm at this week is there's a place around the corner. It's a sand dune. It has 303 steps to get to the top of the dune. So I've been doing it like every other day, trying to get ready. It's yeah for this trip, trying to get my strength up in my leg. But all right, so let's talk about packing. And I think this is anywhere you go. First of all, right now, this time of year or in the summer, everybody's experiencing summer. So it's definitely going to be on the warmer side. But the place we're going to, sometimes there's a burst of rain. Like even like Florida, I think up to this time of year, there's like always this random burst will come out of nowhere. Even in Michigan right now, like all of a sudden a cloud will just downpour. So one thing that we talked about on our list is just basically so you're not carrying a lot around while you're touring or going wherever you're going, is carrying a lightweight jacket or cover or even just a small collapsible umbrella, just something that's not going to be heavy to pull on as you're touring through your day. So I would make sure you bring that, and that light jacket will be great because weather does swing in the evenings or in the morning, depending on where you are. So that light jacket can come into play for both situations. One thing that Mallory and I were actually talking about is a lot of times when you're in a new area, you just pack up, get your backpack ready, and you just go. And you're going to museums, restaurants, and never put an end on your day. So but you might all of a sudden run into a really nice restaurant and you're like, oh, I really want to go in there. So it's always fun to keep a cute scarf in your backpack or make your jacket a little nicer that you could pop over to kind of bring your everyday, whether it's shorts and a top outfit, and just be able to spice it up a little bit. So I would, suggest maybe carrying something like that. And then switching gears though when you're packing, and Mal, when you were talking about your body, but then some of the things being proactive is making sure you find out if you're traveling in Europe, you bring a universal plug because you can run into issues with that. We've stayed at most of the hotels we stay at are like a Marriott, a Hyatt, a Hilton. They're international properties, so they always have the different plugs there available for you, but if you're staying at a boutique place, I don't know, just don't bank on that because it's the worst to get there and then be like, shoot, where do we go find the right kind of plug? And I'm sure you can just grab one on Amazon. Mal, do you have a plug ready to go?
I'm gonna get one, but yeah, you can just order them on Amazon, and it's a lot harder to find a like yeah, a plug there. So you definitely need to get on that beforehand. I remember before I went to Europe the first time, we went with my high school French club, so that's why we went to Paris and everything. And they did a lot of like prep classes, so we were ready. I never knew that there were different plugs. So it's something like if it's your first time traveling outside of the country, you might not even think about. So that is our golden tip if it's your first time traveling.
Absolutely. And the other thing that's interesting too, we forget when we get over there and you don't want to hunt it down, is sunscreen. Just
Oh
bring
yeah.
it. And also, what do you call it? Like they have a lot of water stations anywhere you go, right? Where you're traveling to. If you're going to international parks, wherever there'll be water stations. So highly recommend bringing a really good water bottle. There's collapsible water bottles, so if you're done with it, you can collapse it and take less room up in your backpack. And it's lighter weight. But definitely recommend bringing one, and try to make it as lightweight as possible. But also, a lot of them will keep the cold water, so you just kind of have to. Those are heavier,
So
but
don't bring this.
yeah, you can. Don't ask me to carry it when your arms are tired. So the other thing is sunglasses. Like we both actually, someone else who's traveling with us, we both went and got new sunglasses yesterday. Just really investing in a good polarized pair for the trip. Just because this time of year, no matter where you're going in the next 2 months, 3 months, it's nice. It's going to be sunny where you're going. So worth it. And then obviously don't. I always honestly travel with cheap sunglasses because if I lose them, I'm not going to stress about it. So I'm a little nervous that we invested in good sunglasses,
I was
but we'll
gonna
see how
say
this goes.
I'm
What's
bringing
that?
my cheaper ones. I don't like if they get stolen or lost, I don't care.
I know. I'm on the fence on this one, but
Um,
I do want cute ones because some of the people we're meeting up with dress like they're cute all the time. So it's like, shoot, I gotta bring something cute.
I did want to add to your day to night outfit look because that's so real. Like you're not going back and changing for dinner or unless you have like a very like say we're doing like an opera or something very specific, like we're
Right.
not going back and changing.
For a dinner
Um,
cruise or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my number one outfit I'm going to be packing are tennis dresses and like athletic skirts because I feel like you can dress them up or down, like you're saying, with just some cute accessories, a nice jacket, but the material and having like those built-in like spandex shorts, if we're walking all day, like it's way more comfortable, but I still look cute. I feel like it's a really good balance of being able to like dress it up, but also not like I'm not sweating through my nice cotton dress all day. It's still like a different material.
I get it. And you and I haven't traveled to Europe in a while. I went to Iceland last summer. I don't know if that counts, but like it's on a very big island that you're really standing out. There's so many people from the US that it didn't matter. But I do hear in Europe, you kind of want to blend in and they don't wear a lot of athletic wear. So that's where I'm toggling on where how much I want to be comfortable and how much I don't want to stand out. But part of me is like, I'm paying to be over there. I'll just stand out. I don't care. But um,
Yeah.
you'll see. You know, we sell athletic casual wear at our store in Michigan. So I've been
It's all how you
investigating.
style. It's how
Well,
you
you know, but
style
there's
it.
such good brands out there that have such great like travel. Like Patagonia is a great travel brand. Smartwool's a great travel brand. That wicking clothing, something you can roll up and put in your backpack for later to change out if you got a downpour or rain or something. Or there's just such great brands out there that know how to get it done right for travel clothes. So, and they're lightweight and they just work and you can wear them again. As you all know, we've said this on our podcast many times about smart wool or the merino wool. It doesn't retain odor. So I highly recommend packing those socks and packing those type of clothing if you're going to we're going to be gone for 2 weeks, so we're not going to have a washer dryer. Like we're going to have to find ways to trade out stuff, and so highly recommend that because it does not maintain the odor, which is
I'm
key.
also wearing my smart wool, like I'm bringing all smart wool socks because they all the fi like the fabric is not going to give me blisters when we're walking all day.
That's
That's
right.
like so key when you're wearing cotton and sweating and that friction, horrible blisters, but it will, I'm only wearing good socks because I don't want a blister when I'm there.
Absolutely. Okay, so one of the things that obviously we're big on is what are you putting on your feet? And where we're going, there's a lot of cobblestone, and it's very off based. Obviously, we go out to dinner. We would love a cute sandal or something, but that's definitely not advised for us. So they're saying really just to get a comfortable sneaker or a comfortable sandal. There's a lot of good brands that have a really good travel sandal. That like Keen is a good one. Uh, what do you call it? Olakai and shoot, Mallory. What's the one that like you can adjust the straps? We talked about it on our last
Chaco?
podcast. What is it?
Chaco?
Chaco is another good one.
I like Birkenstocks. That's mine.
I do too. I am a Birkenstock. I love the footbed. It's so similar to our orange insole footbed. I just love it. But also, which key is waterproof, right? Because everywhere we're talking about, no matter anyone's traveling, these time of year, these downpours of rain come out of nowhere. So ideally, if you can be waterproof, you're ready for anything. So there's a great hiking shoe that I got last year from Brooks. Believe it or not, Brooks is such a running brand, but it had a waterproof uh, hiking shoe, and I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm definitely packing that again. But there's a lot of great brands out there. Everybody does it right. So if you have any questions or want to do any of that, IM us and we'll direct you to what foot type you have. And highly recommend swapping that liner out for an orange insole. And I only bring that up because that liner inside of that hiking boot or that good sneaker is going to be just a flappy piece of material. If it is, you're going to want some support. And this is the time when you're doing these steps. But the final thing I'll say on the shoe, don't buy it brand new and try it out on the trip. You got to wear it in ahead of time. So make sure you're putting your miles in those shoes at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance to get them broken in. You don't want to. My sister just traveled over to Spain and brought brand new shoes and blisters galore because she didn't break them in. And then realized they were not the right shoe size either. So break them in and make sure you got what you need and it fits right. What do you think, Mal?
I mean, back to the blending in, it is important to note they also don't wear I love my New Balance walkers. I feel like they would clock me so fast. Um
Because they're
so
white.
well, they're also just like bulky tennis shoes. They're not like when you say sneakers, what we're talking about are like the unsupportive cute shoes, which again aren't supportive. So I think my plan is I have a pair of like low top cute green Adidas. I think I'm gonna bring those and then put a good insole in. Good socks, good insole, and hope it's enough. But I'm also like you, I'm debating how much do I care because I don't want to feel horrible and have like pain in my legs. So do I just bring the New Balance and say I don't care what people think?
Yeah,
I don't know. We're debating right now,
we
but
are debating. But if anyone has a solution, hit it. But we know so many shoes and so many that it's like there's so many great options that we could easily throw in our bag. But I'm just going to rewind and recap real quick. When you go, once we get our shoes right that day, we got our kind of dry fit clothing right that day. In the backpack, we talked about sunscreen, we talked about sunglasses, a water bottle. Another thing to consider is protein bars, or some kind of snack food, nuts, a bag of nuts, something to carry with you. Because one thing I've fallen into is like all of a sudden you're like, I'm really hungry, and you're just not in an area that you're finding a restaurant that makes sense or a deli to grab a baguette or wherever you're at. So make sure you kind of pack that. And then another thought is that like a little blanket, like a little picnic blanket, because sometimes you just get into a park or wherever you're at and you may just want to roll out a little picnic blanket in the evening. Mallory does not agree with that comment.
I have limited packing space. I'm not bringing a blanket.
Okay. I wonder if how about a small laundry bag? You
I'm
think?
more like bring my rain jacket. If I'm carrying that around, I can sit on my rain jacket. It's supposed to be durable to
Well,
help.
that's true. Okay. I will rewind the
I
blanket.
like your idea. I like the thought behind it. It's just the packing space.
I well, you haven't been to London, but in London there were like these big parks everywhere, and everybody got their little English lunch and would sit out on these parks. And we were trying to sit on our small like jackets because we didn't have a little blanket. And finally, our little bed and breakfast place loaned us a blanket so we could go sit in the park and participate. So I guess you could ask the hotel; they probably have it. The other thing too is making sure you have cash because not everyone takes credit cards. That's anywhere you go now. Everybody's like, when I've been traveling lately, it's people are like cash, and if you don't pay your, even in Chicago, they're charging a big fee now to use your credit card. So make sure you pay attention to that type of thing. And then the other thing is your phone doesn't always work anywhere you go because of the tower. So you might want to consider bringing a map of the area so you don't get lost or confused. That was something that happened to my sister in Spain. They had no service. They had no idea where they are. They couldn't call an Uber. They just got stuck. So, and they didn't, there was a big language barrier between them and the other people. So that's something else to think about. And then I think we already kind of went through the tech and chargers that you need to bring, right? I mean, obviously everyone brings a good headphone set for the plane ride if you're going to watch movies or do your own thing. And everyone kind of has a camera on their phone, so that's good. But I think that's it, unless you get into the detail of like how many cardigans you bring, how many shirts. That's another podcast in itself. How
That's
many pairs of
personal
socks do you
choice.
pack? What?
That's all personal choice.
I'll agree.
Well, there's a few things I'm gonna do while I'm traveling as well to stay healthy. They're very similar to the before traveling. Um, so like you mentioned, bringing a water bottle, it's kind of hard to find water in Europe. I've found like they don't just have water bottles a lot, and at restaurants, they will charge you more for sparkling water and bottles of water. So wherever you can hydrate on your own is really important. Um, Other things you can control while traveling is getting enough sleep. We luckily have less of a rigid schedule, so we can make sure we're getting 6 to 8 hours. If you're getting 4 hours every night, you're not going to feel great. And I know it's hard to adjust to a new sleeping schedule, but anyway, you can prioritize getting enough sleep. What do you think, Mom? Are you going to keep me out partying all night?
Just a couple nights. When we
Okay.
see Marley, we're going all night.
As long as I can sleep in.
Fair, fair. We won't even know what time zone it is. We're just gonna wing it. We're winging it. But I have the Aura ring, which we've used on a few podcasts, and that helps me get an idea of how much sleep or what I need to do. It'll tell you your readiness and all that kind of thing. Like slow it down, slow your roll. Your body needs some help. It's crazy how it's so accurate. It's nuts. But yeah, agree. So sleep, got it. Hydration, got it.
So we're obviously gonna be moving a lot, and I'm not really like planning workouts, obviously, into our days just because I know we'll get enough steps. However, just because we're getting enough cardio and steps and like exercise in that way, I am not going to neglect my stretching. I have like a 15-minute routine that I can do every day, and I think I'm going to because I feel like my body will feel a lot better if I just stretch it out too. We're walking a ton. Like you got to stretch that out. You don't, run a few miles and not stretch before or after. So I'm gonna try to treat it like that as well and make sure I'm taking care of my body, and still stretching. Um,
So we'll be that weird family. You'll see us on the street grabbing a light pole doing stretches off of it in the middle of the day, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, who are those people?" But our family's big on stretching. Your dad is too. Like he's a big stretcher guy. He believes in it, and I do too. You're absolutely right. It just feels better for
yeah,
sure.
especially if you're like getting off a plane after 8 hours or something like that. Stretching will definitely feel good. And one of the last things is making sure I pack my supplements. So I guess this could have gone under some packing, but I have a few sleep supplements like my magnesium and L-theanine that help me sleep at night. And then, I take creatine. So I bought some travel packs online that I can bring with so I don't have to bring a big tub of it. And just, yeah, making sure I stay up on my supplements as well. Like there's, obviously like I opened this with, we get very out of our routine, but there's a few things we can do to make sure we have a little bit of routine still and can maintain some of those healthy habits. So like I said, just hydrate, get enough sleep if you can, stretch when you can, and then, still stay on your supplements and, normal thing like that.
I think that's the hard thing when I travel is just remembering supplements and just staying with my routine. And one thing Mallory and I both have, I only saw my grandparents ever have this, but when I finally broke down and got one of those little pill circle things, and like you have like each individual dosage. So we've been filling that, and wow, it's just so nice because even in the morning when I have to take a fish oil pill, a vitamin B pill, whatever it is my nutritionist has me taking, just to have it all like plotted out and organized. I'm there to travel and go see the world. I'm not there to open like vitamin bottles nonstop all morning long and take my supplements. So highly recommend condensing it down. And like you just said, your creatine packet, that's just an individual serving size ready to dump into your water, is a great idea. So you got me thinking about that. I need to get ahead of that a little bit too. So yeah, those are good ideas.
The very last thing I want to touch on, obviously, we're not going to be cooking for ourselves, and stuff like that while we're traveling. We'll be eating out a lot. It's part of traveling is it is trying new foods, having fun foods, not just eating healthy and strict all the time. Like that, what's the point of going to Europe? Like I want to have a lot of good pastries and try new things. Um, Especially excited about the pastries. So, with that in mind, though, I'm going to try to focus my meals around having a protein source and a fiber source, which fiber, aka my fruits and vegetables. So, at our regular meals, I will definitely make sure I have some fruits and vegetables or fiber source and protein in every meal. And even if I wanted a pastry, what that could look like is getting Greek yogurt and fruit on the side with a pastry. And I know you're like, oh, well, you're eating more, but it will keep me fuller longer throughout the day. It'll make me feel better than just eating a pastry and then being hungry again in like an hour and then having to go through my day like that. So it's just like a very simple rule. I'm not going to be like counting calories or tracking everything or making sure I'm hitting all my vitamins every day. But if I can at least focus on trying to get protein and fiber in my diet, I know I will feel so much better on this trip.
I'm going to say when I travel like this, when it's not in the US, I don't count on finding fruit and fiber. I just count on getting food I like. Like sometimes I travel and I do not find food I like. It's so bland or whatever. So I'm curious to see what kind of food we're going to run into. No idea.
Good food. I have a feeling.
Okay. I'm hoping. This isn't like Italy. I want to get to Italy and eat everything in Italy, but there, I know I've never been, but I just can't wait for that trip. But yeah, okay, got it. What else?
That's it. That's all of my travel prep that I am going to be doing, and yeah, a few of my tips.
You can tell Mallory keeps us educated on eating healthy and being strong through a trip. Where like, if she wasn't there, I'd be just like, yeah, I'm gonna gain 8 pounds in this next week, and I'm enjoying all of it, all of it. But hydration is the part that I really think ahead about. And you're right, it's hard to find water and stuff, and I actually get a little worried about that because if I'm not hydrated, I do not feel good at all. So, and Diet Coke doesn't count over there. Coca-Cola Diet, what do they call it? Coca-Cola Light. Is that what it is? Coca-Cola Light, something like that. But
I don't remember.
all right, hopefully everyone caught on to a tip, a trick from our conversation. And for me, I have not been to Europe in a while. I went one time last summer to Iceland, but prior to that, I haven't been since like 2018, I think, was my last European travel. I can't remember. So it's good to review and get all kind of more organized and ready to go. So hopefully this has helped everyone. Enjoy your week, and thank you, Mallory, for joining us today. We appreciate it.